Let me put it back in.
Oh, one second.
We are.
No, mate, it's all right.
Everybody just said yes to start recording, and then they said, "Oh, wait a second, I've got to do this."
I only was hesitating. Okay, so this is Close Quarters Battle. No, it's not. It's CQB, which is what it stands for, and they explain it in the show, which is kind of cool. I think I've worked out what's going on. I think I worked out who took out the Canterbury.
Oh my god!
This is great. I love it when Chris gets his theories.
Case closed.
Case closed. Yeah, we don't need to watch the rest of the series. Actually, Chris has got it. No, this is cool. This is cool. I love it when you get. No, it's same. You're same as the rest of us. We all have our little theories as we go along, and then things change. And...
Was it Pat Butcher?
It was not Pat. It was not Pat Butcher. Grant Mitchell, actually.
Oh, right.
But then it's a safe bet for them. No. I think that is it the Tyco Corporation or Tyco Engineering? Is that the company?
That is the company, yeah.
You mean Fred's company, yeah?
Fred Johnson. The black fella we meet in...
the black guy with the beard. Yeah.
I mean, that's the bit I was talking about last episode that I wasn't sure whether it was prior.
Yeah, we get introduced to Fred Johnson, yeah. You think it's the Tyco company then? Or Tyco Corporation or whatever they are.
I mean, maybe with links to the OPA.
I mean, Tyco is where they are. That's the name of the place. It's Tyco's a moon, I think, isn't it?
And you go and see that big Mormon ship, the Nauvoo. That's Tyco Station. Right,
yeah. And so, but I mean, they have like a lot of technological ability because they're the ones spinning series, right?
I think Tyco is who spun up series, but I might be.
I can't remember. That's not in the show.
They do that kind of thing. Yeah.
So
there's big ass space engineers.
They're building the Nauvoo, which is the biggest ship ever.
Yeah. Which and the thing is, right? He says very specifically, Tyco doesn't build ships, right? This is like the first ship it's built, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, right. So if you were the Mormon people and you were going to go on a 100-year voyage to presumably the next solar system over to on some presumably a holy voyage or to to colonize or some sort of mission.
I think all of the above.
They want their own planet.
Yeah. Right. You obviously it sounds a bit ludicrous to go to a company that has never built a ship before, right?
Well, cost. Is like you could have gone to presumably like an Earth contractor or a Mars contractor, but the belters are going to do it cheaper. I guess is going to factor into it.
And also, they've done some very specialist engineering, which is this ship is different from any other ship as well because of the way it's been built. I
mean, it does come. I don't think you get that yet, but the reason Fred Johnson took this contract is he wants to prove the belt can do stuff like this.
Essentially,
do engineering projects.
I mean, that certainly makes a lot of sense because, of course, that's where Mars gets a lot of their legitimacy from, isn't it? That they're working on this grand project, and they talk about that quite a lot in this episode, which is quite kind of nice. Gives more flavor to Mars. We get a lot more flavor about Mars. Their sort of their attitudes, their hopes, their dreams. Why they be,
why they disdain Earthers so much.
Yes. Yeah, because we're kind of seen as like the burnout humans, right? Like,
they were us when this, but it's like you had a paradise and you spoiled it, which
it's
a little bit unfair.
Parking lot. I was waiting for that last time as well.
Yeah.
So I reckon. Although judging from your responses to this, I think I'm probably wrong at this point.
I mean, we're not going to confirm or deny.
No, I'm not going to say yes or no to something that's not part of this episode.
No, but if I got it right, you'd be like,
would we?
Really thought maybe, he was I don't know. I thought he knew it was the Mysterons.
Never mind.
It's like when you did with the Impale thing,
Yeah. Oh, and of course, when you were talking about shit, we couldn't remember Shed's name, and you were like, "He's gonna die then," and we were like, "No,
not at all, not at all. He's fine. Shed's
and actually,
head,
of course,
baby.
Have a lot is alive.
Yeah.
So
yes. Very odd.
It wasn't worth remembering his name.
So maybe Shed's still alive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In a room with no air and having no head.
No. I mean, it's not
a
like
ship that's actually completely destroyed. I forgot about that as well. They scuttled the ship right at the end.
Yeah.
Just get him a Belter-made prosthetic head.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, because the thing is, it was like it's not like even the head is just removed from the body, because presumably, like, because that would have been like a blast about.
Yeah, it was a railgun shot that went right through both sides of the room.
Yeah, unless his head is just pinned on the front of. And it's actually the bit that survives, and then he comes back in the head in the jar. No, that's going to cause some brain damage at the very least. But yeah,
Shed's. Well, actually, while we're talking about the impalement thing, the guy who plays Amos does that other podcast, Ty and that guy, and he is that guy. Ty is one of the writers, and he complains about that. He says, "No, that spike in the previous episode, that spike went right through his heart." And now they're saying, "Oh no," and he said, "Oh, it's based on a real thing, like a railroad worker from the early days of the railroad got a bolt put through." And there are things like that. People got bolts in their head and all sorts. But he's right to point out, if you look back at the episode 3, that spike does go right there, right through his stomach.
I don't know. I think maybe it's just like a little bit off center. Like if you miss the heart, it's gone through his lungs, right? Or one lung.
Yeah, one lung. Right. I'm going to get it.
But yeah, he's alive. Yeah,
I would say it's like he's very unlikely to have survived that, but possible. But it doesn't seem.
Well, she found him and he was alive at the time, and he managed to unhook himself from the spike, which is quite a feat as well.
I'm just watching.
You're watching the last bit as well. Oh, I'm watching the last bit. It's in the beginning at the recap as well.
Oh yeah. What the subtitle says: "Speaking other language."
I love it when it does. No, the worst one is just foreign language.
Yeah,
foreign. So it's foreign. Because the thing is, he's got a jacket with a zip on it, and it's going basically through the zip. It's not. You can't argue it's off to one side.
It seems to be right in his sternum. So your heart is just above the bottom of your sternum.
When you see that scene, you are supposed to think he's dead. You're supposed to think he's well fucking dead.
To me, it's a bit of a he didn't get out of the cockadoodie car. I don't know if you know that line from. I think it's Misery.
Oh,
you know the Stephen King thing. I think it's Misery. She says that because in the book, in the story, in the book Misery, she's talking about old cliffhangers and like old weekly serials that used to be on the cinema when way before our time, obviously. But Chris is looking for his heart.
It down. Yeah. Okay, so it really is like right there, right? So it would have gone through the rib cage. So even if it didn't hit his heart, which it almost probably did, or hit something of the vital organs, right? Because they say like all those army snipers, they go for the central line. That's like the thing they say. And it's like, so even if you missed for some reason all of the vital organs and the spine, then the rib cage would have made the rib cage basically go. So it would.
No, it went between two ribs. It's fine.
But you don't have between two ribs there.
No, it's an optical illusion. It was actually like there. Yeah. Fine.
Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't have. This is I shouldn't have gone. But the guy who plays Amos is not happy about it either.
No, yeah, I mean, understandable, because like that is
Peanut. I'm not playing toys with you. Come on.
You could have gone half a foot down, and you could have then kind of, made it work. Because the thing is, as well, is that like that's right by the spinal column as well, like where so much of the brain nerves are. See, I don't know all the medical terms, right? So it would have caused. It would have like at the very least paralyzed him. But I mean, it's like there are like at least I can think of like 6 different ways he probably should have died.
Plausibly, his spine is fucked, and future medicine can deal with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, you saw in this episode what future medicine can do when that guy's arm gets cut off. Remember in the
Yeah.
battle?
Well,
but he's on the belt, so he's not Martian or nothing.
Yeah, but they've got. I suspect the off-belter people have got access to the better stuff.
I don't know. That sounds expensive. That sounds pricey to have those.
Anyway, yeah.
Is it special blood?
I think the speculation is pointless because it's what we saw and what happened. Obviously, he obviously is not dead at the end of the episode, and he's been away for a while because his partner's been missing him all day. So,
but the thing is like he was a lot. He gets shot in episode 3 and then doesn't die in episode 4. Like that just seems like a really noticeable oversight. But then again, as you say, Mr. Amos isn't happy about it. So,
Wes Chatham is the actor's name. Sorry,
Wes Chatham. Right. Okay. So anyway, I'll close. Remember the cant. So anyway, yeah, Tycho Engineering. They basically like maybe they did something like help. Maybe they were in part contracted to develop Mars stealth technology or something like that, which might be why they were able to plant it on the not the Scopuli, but the ship that they the night board.
I mean, if you're building a huge mega project like the Nauvoo, it's plausible that you could siphon off some resources and build something on the side, right?
Yeah,
it's a big project.
Well, I mean, the Tycho Corporation, isn't it a massive corporation?
I don't think it's like
it's Fred's business. Basically.
It's Tycho Station, basically, is it? I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tycho Station, and Fred runs the station.
If they can build that spaceship, they've got some resources for sure, but it's probably not. It's not on the scale of the big Earth corporations
or Mars terraforming or anything. So it's probably not as big as that.
Is it the what's it called, the Pure and Clean Corporation?
No, Pure and Clean are the ones that were doing the ice hauling.
The ice hauling, right?
That Pure and Clean ran the Canterbury. Oh, I think. Yeah. I don't think.
That's who they ran.
And are they a similar size business to Tycho then?
Don't think we know.
No, I wouldn't.
I would thought they're smaller though. They're just a haulage business. They're not engineers or anything. They're just they're basically what's his name?
I love that they continue wearing the Pure and Clean jumpsuits though.
Well, a couple of them do, to start with at this point, Well, it was the clothes, isn't it? It's the clothes they were standing in when they abandoned ship, sort of thing.
Okay, I mean, my theory's sort of crumbling apart a little bit, but
I think you made some bigger assumptions about Fred's business than
I thought the Tycho Corporation was like bigger,
another big player, another major player.
I think it's plausible.
Yeah, I mean, it's not implausible. But
or a corporation, then but where it's like
we're just waiting you up.
We're leaning into this idea that is this a war? Is this governments? Is this but is this corporate interference? Is this is this like Dick Cheney sort of egging on war so that his shares Raytheon and Lockheed Martin start. Is it that kind of? See, I'm thinking, is it something like that? Is it Dick Cheney?
I
mean, that's an aspect of it, but there's more. It's more interesting than that.
Yeah, everything about the show. You've got to remember, everything about the show is much less banal than you would think.
And I think it's fair to say everything in this show has layers.
Definitely.
Nothing.
Everything in this episode's got quite a lot of layers. It's a very big episode. This one.
It does. Okay. Well, anyway, that was where I was thinking is that unless of course it's the Mormons. I don't think it's the Mormons. It's because they don't have. I mean, I don't know. Would they even stand to benefit any? They seem to be just looking for this pilgrimage kind of thing.
I think they want to be left alone, right? Is it like they just want their Mormon planet where they can have their 8 wives and
So, but I definitely found it interesting, and I suppose, given the history of is it the Pennsylvania Dutch, or are they more the Amish type?
The Amish and what's the other ones that are very similar to the Amish? It's like Pennatites. That's not right, but it's something like that.
Pirates of Penzance. But so it makes sense that people Mennonites. That's it. Yeah. So America obviously has a history of choice of words, various religious
weirdos.
And the travel, religious fucking weirdos that travel, and so that's just carrying on the great American way, right? So right, so we saw a lot more from inside of Mars as well. Is that where we want to start?
All yours. That's your job. Go for it.
Okay.
You're the...
So we saw Holden a lot more, and I think we probably learned more about Holden in this episode than we have in any of the previous episodes, or at least I feel like so.
More directly.
Personality-wise, yeah. You heard a lot more about his background in the previous one when he was being...
My favourite, this is out of order, but my favourite Holden moment in this, it's a moment between Holden and, I don't know the name of the Martian officer with the bushy eyebrows. Do we know his name?
Lopez.
Oh, Lopez, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. So Holden's strapped in, the attack starts, somebody gets injured, Holden releases, there's a gun on the floor, and Holden releases his seatbelt and goes, and the dude's watching him, and he's like, oh, he didn't go for the gun, he went to help the person.
Yeah.
And that moment establishes like a trust between Holden and Lopez. Is like, oh, he's not an asshole. Like he's a decent fella.
Yeah, there's something about Lopez I kind of like. It's like he's almost like he's obviously very cautious, but he obviously he kind of almost feels a little bit, but I'm probably wrong here, a little bit maybe like the Martian Amos.
No, I don't see that.
No, okay. The impression we get whenever Martians talk about Earthers is like Martians are propagandized against Earthers.
Yeah, but is it also
they're lazy, they're selfish, they had this thing and they ruined it, like, which is not inaccurate. When I say propaganda, I don't necessarily mean it's wrong.
No, we do have free air, and we're just breathing it as Oh, that's good air. That's good air. So I do wonder, like, do they ration air on Mars, or is there?
Well, they live in domes and things, so
they live in domes. So is it like, are you only allowed to? You can't run on any treadmills because that's just too much.
Well, I don't think.
They've got the air they need. They recycle it. They've got the air they need, but they can't.
They can't just walk outside and go for a walk or whatever.
Okay, yeah. So, but even like with Lopez, like you could, like he demonstrated that he was very passionate about Mars's goal, and I suppose every Martian, except for the pilot guy, who I should know his name by now, but everyone else, Alex, that's it. Everyone else seems to be relatively like, well, I say like orientated towards like the broad Martian goal, but of course this is the Navy. So
you get into that later. There's I don't think this is spoilery, but there's a concern amongst the older Martians that the younger Martians who've just grown up in the domes are perfectly happy living in domes and don't necessarily care about the terraforming and.
Okay, so is Lopez an older Martian then?
In that, I mean, it's not it's not strictly the younger people don't care and the older people do care. There's young people who care a great deal, but that sort of tension is set up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And if you're joining the military, you're probably a little bit more patriotic than the average person, and
Yeah. But there was, I really like the dialogue between Holden and Lopez and the captain lady, who is almost certainly dead. So,
I just realised something. Sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt. I was looking at the screen and looking at the screen, thinking something's not right. You guys are on the wrong sides.
Oh,
Chris is marked for Mars. Yeah,
Mars.
That's fine. We can use his turncoat.
Yeah, well, I like Mars now. I mean, I
love Mars.
Cool.
All right,
am I UN then?
You're in the UN at the moment. Yeah, You've got the UN flag.
Yeah.
It just occurred. I was thinking there's something wrong, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And it's taken me nearly 20 minutes to realise that's what it is.
Yeah,
because Chris is usually last to join. So.
See, this the thing is with this, right? So, like,
so you're not going to rejoin then?
What, the UN?
Oh, to let Drew have his flag.
I mean, you're the flag. You're the authority on flags. You're the International Vexillology Association.
Hop back in, Chris. Let's get our flags right.
All right.
Who is he?
I don't know. Never met him before.
Why does he keep joining this?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, you're on the United Nations now. It just wasn't occurring to me exactly what it was, but I could tell. I was sitting there thinking about what the subjects that you're talking about, but then I was also like slightly distracted, and I couldn't. I was like, oh. So everybody's got their. I'm on the OPA flag. Mm-hmm. Drew's back on the Martian flag, and Chris is back to the UN.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I get for being early, isn't it? It's like I mess with the.
Well, I would have been here earlier, but you told me you were going to be late, so I didn't come in till later.
So yeah, well, I mean, I
got sidetracked and carried away in something else. Anyway, sorry, carry on about.
I mean, to be fair, when I rewatched this episode today, I watched it at one speed, as in like the normal speed.
Yeah. It's a great episode.
For a second episode, that's.
Yeah.
And, I say that I don't mind watching 1.5 after about 5 minutes. It seems like normal to me.
You definitely get used to it. I don't do it, but you definitely get used to it.
Yeah, I don't do it, but yeah, I can imagine.
I've got a lot of time to fill, so.
Yeah. So we learn. Well, so they're boarded by people. We still don't know who they are after they've been boarded, right?
Well, first of all, can we talk about? So the Martian bridge, the Donager's bridge. Everybody's like really cocky. Like they've just, even when they say it's like 5 ships, it's 5 frigates,
6 ships,
Mars's flagship battleship. And I want to say they're cocky, like not in an asshole-ish way. It's just like, well, of course we can take this. Like, this is no concern. And then as their cockiness just crumbles bit by bit, that's enjoyable. It's horrible for them, but it's it's enjoyable to watch. It's nicely presented, I think.
Yeah. But then, of course, the question that we as the audience would obviously raise is, why is someone attacking such a well-known ship for being it's known presumably for being very technologically advanced, or certainly being very powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So presumably you wouldn't go up against it unless you knew how to take it down, right? That's what the audience, I assume, that's what I felt.
Sure, I'm not actually 100%. I mean, probably can't get into this because it'd be spoilers, but I'm not 100% why they do attack the Donager.
I don't think there's much clarity on that in this episode.
I guess they don't want Holden going out and going, it wasn't Mars.
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's something else. So that I think from the point of view of this episode, if nothing else, they are trying to clean up after themselves.
Yeah.
And they do lose several ships. I think it's 3 ships, 3 of their ships, but there's 6 of them. So But even 6 ships, even the Martians, once the drive plumes calmed down and they turned the ships and everything, they still say, "Oh well, 6 of them," but
Yeah. Well, they did seem pretty keen on stopping the escape shuttle.
Oh, God, because they sent a lot of troops to that, didn't they? Yeah, it's not an escape shuttle; it's an actual. Remember, they're inside a really, really big ship. That's a frigate. That you're seeing.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little battleship of its own. Well, as you get a little taster of.
Yeah.
When Alex turns the guns on the troops.
Is it like if we're talking about size-wise? Is it like Red Dwarf and then Starbug? Is that the kind of?
No, I would say it's a bit bigger.
Bigger than Starbug. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a warship. So it's not a shuttle or anything. It's not like the. It's not huge, but it is.
It's like the Queen Elizabeth II. Versus a Ford Cortina, but a very well armed.
Very well armed and armored Ford Cortina. Yeah,
a Ford Cortina full of crypts.
Sorry. If you just mean scale wise, then Starbug is probably a reasonable.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Sorry, I got a bit confused as to what you meant there. But you mean I mean, scale wise, it's a lot smaller. It's a small fighting ship inside a battleship.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
To be clear about because this gets into I'm not like a war history nerd or something, but like battleships in our current time on Earth, battleships have fallen out of use. We don't use battleships.
As in the floating kind.
Yeah. They're
I've still got my space battleship, obviously.
They're the very big warships that were just like they were for bombarding land targets and taking out other ships, but they were just they're just too big and expensive, and frigates can just take them out. They're too vulnerable to frigates and submarines. So now everybody, they call them different things. They're called destroyers, frigates, corvettes in some places, but they're all essentially, they're these sort of much smaller, faster, very well armed, because they've got missiles and stuff on them. So you don't need battleships anymore. They're too expensive. You can't risk losing them, kind of thing.
Sorry, just to double clarify, when you say battleships, you mean the boats?
I'm talking floating ships, yeah, but obviously spacey stuff takes a lot of cues from naval history.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
We've gone into space, and like battleships have a purpose again, I guess is the...
Yeah. But of course, I mean, that makes a whole bunch of sense, because I found out the other day that, those big cruise ships, the massive ones, they can cost over £1 billion to build.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean...
Well, it's a massive floating hotel and complex. Yeah, it's a sort of town of, it's like a town.
I watched a YouTube video about it. It's an absolute marvel of engineering. Whether or not you're a fan of cruise holidays or whatever, I was just like,
my parents, my mum, until she got really ill, they cruised all the time. Oh, that sounds wrong. They went on cruises all the time.
Yeah. See, there is a part of me that's like, I would like to like almost go on one just to see the ship, like to.
Yeah, they look amazing.
I'd love to go on a cruise if I could have the whole boat to just like me and my friends.
See, in the zombie apocalypse, the cruise ship is what you want.
Yeah.
They'll. I mean, who's going to get them first though? But yeah, well, the thing is, I guess they cost like $1 billion and change to build, but also the maintenance is not going to be. That's got to be like what, like £1 million a day or something.
That was the thing with battleship. You're making this like this incredibly expensive warship that you essentially can't risk in combat, because a submarine can take it out, a missile can take it out, a destroyer can take it out. So you're making this
too many eggs in one basket.
It's a bit like star forts when they invented star forts, which were basically impervious to cannon attack, but they're so expensive to build that they never actually risked them in a siege. They would always go and attack the invading army, because you can't. It's too expensive to risk, basically.
Yeah, it's like like in Project Zomboid, when I get a really nice car, I put it in the garage and it never gets used.
Yeah, I mean we're getting there with aircraft carriers now. Like the Houthi, they've got like basically off the shelf access to drones, and a drone or a cruise missile can take out. An aircraft carrier, especially a hypersonic missile, and so we're going to get to the point where aircraft carriers are going to be a thing of the past.
I mean, presumably, not aircraft, like it'll all be drones at some point, right?
Yeah.
And
anyway,
maybe
that's too real world.
It's bigger. Yeah, we're getting into a bigger side, and World War III is a bit too, imminent for us
close to home. Yeah,
to be chatting about it at the moment.
Yeah. If the Mormons start getting involved, then we know we're really fucked.
They're trying to get out of here,
Yeah. So I don't think we're actually any closer to who these people are.
No, not from this episode. I don't think.
But you're starting to get some visual cues as to what they look like when they arrive. Now they've got this. Well, everybody else seems to have like sort of reddish visors and things. They've got this weird blue mesh, which looks really, much more advanced. They've got that instant healing stuff built into their suits. It's like really advanced stuff. That's the one clear in the stealth technology. That's the one clear message you're getting out of this. Whoever it is, they've got backing. Sorry, carry on.
So we know that they're like humanoid of sorts, right? I know that's a bit basic, but well,
I mean they're human.
They're human. Yeah, we've seen a human. We've seen a human, didn't we?
Yeah. We know that
they're still a suit.
They're gonna have crazy money, or at the very least access to very, very, very high technology.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, was that a tautology? Anyway,
was high-tech technology.
But it's not high technology, because that sounds.
No, that's what high-tech means.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like no one says high technology, like high fantasy. It's like.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
When you're the journalist here, but
I've never used the term high technology.
No, that's
advanced
what it means.
Technology.
Yeah. That's more. I suppose that's more comfortable. But no, high technology. I've heard that before. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, carry on. We're getting all sorts of weird little signs here.
Yeah, they've got big face visors, which I'm going to guess are bulletproof because they're...
Well, it's a sort of mesh thing, isn't it? So
a mesh thing,
presumably it's armoured the same as the rest of their suit, but...
It's got...
I mean, they're not super armour, you know.
It's like chainmail kind of feeling.
That's what it looks a bit like, some sort of chainmail.
And...
But obviously they work as a pressure suit still, so they obviously, they're sealed up. But I don't think they're any harder, tougher than the Martians' armour,
So the question that jumps out
just overwhelmed, really, by the numbers.
Is why did they board? Because if they wanted to take it down, would they board, or would they just try and take it down from outside? Or do they need to go?
Well, I think they had the numbers and surprise on their side, just tactically. I'm not going to say too much because they all die anyway. So
it's probably quite hard to destroy a battleship from the outside because they want to destroy the crew of the what's left of the Canterbury crew. They want to kill them presumably, so they want to make sure the right people are dead. So boarding probably.
They almost want to scuttle it the way that the Martians
they kind of want to push them to that if they can't get it to do it themselves.
I think Lopez says they're dust now, referencing, of course, the scuttling of the ship, and it looked like it just almost like it disintegrated, or rather like exploded, but like
I think they just overloaded the drives and get nuclear explosion.
There's nothing. You're not getting anything back out of that.
No, I don't think so.
That's a full, because presumably it being a military military technology
vessel.
They that's the word. Yeah, vessel. They want, like, in the event of something like this, they want like the option to, like, they don't want anything to be salvaged, right? Like,
that's what happens in normal military things. Like, if you ever see anything about, have you seen Black Hawk Down, for example? Have you seen that film?
No.
Right. Well, basically, what happens is it's the Battle of Mogadishu. Some helicopters go down, and when the American rescuers come to get the crews from the helicopters, they destroy all the electronic equipment and everything. They basically make it so there's no thing they can discern. No technology they can learn from or anything when the helicopters left, because they can't take the whole thing away, so they just sabotage it all.
One thing we do learn about James Holden is, of course, that he actually is pretty loyal to his crew, or at least takes the responsibility.
Well, he feels responsible for them, and he won't. Yeah, he actually goes against the Martians on that point. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
why he was afraid of taking on the second officer role, the first officer role. He was just trying to keep a bit of a distance because he knows he doesn't want to be that responsible. But if he is in that position, he will take that responsibility. He'll shoulder it. And that's kind of Holden in a nutshell, really. I think you learn the most important things about Holden in the first 2 or 3 episodes, really. That's who he is. That's who he is.
Yeah,
he will always do the right thing, and he will always protect.
He's always try to do the right thing and look after his crew, his own people.
And actually, on that note, Amos, of course, and
Alex.
And Alex. That's it. I was going to say Shed then.
Shed's dead, baby. Shed's dead.
Yeah. Amos and Alex, so they have their little not like
bonding.
So that was that bonding moment. So that's a good, I mean, when Shed gets his head blown off, everyone, particularly Naomi and Amos, but also and Alex, they all sort of work together really well as a team.
Yeah,
and
that's survival in space, though. They're all trained to some extent in what to do. They know. I mean, if you're living and working in space constantly, like they will with cruising the Canterbury, they know that. Right, there's a hole in the hull.
They've probably been through that before. Working in a dilapidated old.
Yeah, because the Canterbury probably had those sort of things happen a lot. Not the head blown off part, but the breaches and things haven't.
I love that they just get the glue guns. They get the glue guns out, and I love the. It's just a funny irony of that. They use the the manual that tells you how to patch the
emergency
hole.
procedures
Use that
manual
to patch
is what
the
they
hole.
use to patch one of the holes. Yeah, that's the one Naomi pulls off the shelf.
Yeah,
and
actually,
I think Amos just like rips a cupboard door off or something, doesn't he?
Yeah. That kind of reminds me a little bit because they use glue, don't they? They use glue in.
Well, I think it's a sealant of some sort rather than a glue.
Like a sealant. I mean, if it sticks things together, it's a glue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, probably.
I suppose I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually,
anyway,
actually, it probably is a sealant because I was thinking they put the thing up against the side, but the air pressure probably keeps it there, but the sealant keeps it.
Sealed. Yeah, it gives it a proper seal.
Yeah, or it's probably both. I don't know.
I love the sound in that when they put the thing on. It's like I love those little like air sucking noises. They're great.
Yeah, and then they
talk great about sound design in this episode.
And then Amos is like, well, one of us should knock ourselves out unconscious with the thing.
Well, I think it's Naomi that brings that up first.
Brings that up, and then it's like I think like, well, I thought it was Amos that brought it up.
No, it was. Naomi goes and gets it out of the cupboard and says, out of the kit, where she got the emergency manual.
And then like Alex is like, fine, I'll do it. Well, like he'll.
Well, I think he's fine, but yeah.
Well, he starts off like
they go back and forth. Yeah, they kind of go back and forth
because they use more oxygen, and then
Amos he wants Amos to get knocked out. Exactly. Yeah. So he wants to knock Amos out because of trust issues. And obviously practical because Amos obviously uses more oxygen, but as Amos points out, you couldn't carry me, but I can carry you.
Yeah, and I mean it does come to that in the end. So although is it 0G or
low G? I would say
low G. So I don't know. You could probably carry Amos. I mean, I get the logic behind it because you don't know what gravity you're dealing with at any given moment, really, are you?
Well, no, it changes. The forces of movement change.
It's also going to be tight. Even in 0G, it's going to be tight because you're working against inertia. You still got to make that mass move.
Yeah.
not
So
fighting gravity
certainly
the whole way, but you're still wrangling it around corners and
you've still got to maneuver a mass by exerting force. We're on Earth. If you don't do physics a lot, you just get this sort of directional idea in your head about things like gravity and forces and stuff, but they're not. It's zero G doesn't. Everything doesn't just suddenly float away because there's no force moving it. If the gravity went off right now, we'd all just still be sitting here until one of us moved, and then we'd move a lot more than we expected. Sorry.
You watch old like 40s and 50s sci-fi, and like they're in space. They let go. First, like they never have helmets, but they let go of stuff, and it just floats away.
It's there's some great videos on YouTube from NASA where they I think it's like educational stuff for like kids in school, but like it's genuinely really interesting where they show you how to do things like brush your teeth in space, and they put the water in the air. Like it's just like we just keep the water just there, right? It's not going to go into the electrics because we just keep it there. And it's like you put the water in and the toothpaste and then I think they spit it into a thing. I don't know, but and they do like how they do how they keep their muscles. They do muscle exercises and whatnot in space. So, that's kind of interesting. But but then of course in a battle, you don't know what's going to happen to the ship, right? Like, I mean, even if there's a hole, then you've got air pressure, which probably messes around with stuff as well. Like that probably causes some kind of movement. I don't know. And then the ship can turn and the gravity can turn off and all that kind of stuff. So, this is the moment where we know actually Amos, he may be a hothead, but his heart's in the right place. Is that the kind of message we're supposed to take away from it? It kind of feels like it, right?
Well, he does what he needs to do in that situation. He doesn't act selfishly.
He's not selfish. He's pragmatic, but not selfish.
So, and that's good. And to be honest, like as well from a political point of view, you can't really just have James Holden be the one witness to the Canterbury blowing up. It's too easy to discredit.
Yeah.
Like if you've got a whole crew, you can separate them up, question them individually, work out inconsistencies with the story and see if, all that kind of stuff. So from that point of view, but so it seems like they got away, right? Unless, of course, next episode something happens, right?
Something's going to happen next episode.
Yeah. I guarantee there'll be things happening. Yeah. Every show, things happen.
Events to
so you don't just get like an episode of just a ship going through. Like...
just playing cards for the whole episode.
So the mesh thing. I mean, what's that? I'm just looking at that now. So I mean, these are troops that are confident to go up against Martian Navy, right? So
but you got to remember this is naval.
Be right back. I do need a piss, but please carry
on. Word from our sponsors, Armitage Shanks. No, you got to remember that it's a Martian battleship, so most of the crew aren't combat troops. They've got training to fight on it. If you're trained to fight on a ship, your training is general. I mean, you'll do some basic training always, but there'll be training to fire missiles, or training to firefight, or training to do some engineering task. So a lot of the crew won't be like soldiers as such. They are soldiers, obviously they're naval officers, but they're not like frontline troops. But they will have Marines on board as well.
Okay, yeah.
There's always going to be so many Marines.
I mean, one thing that I've heard about when it comes to like conflict and war and stuff is that almost any amount of like professional state army almost always beats mercenary forces. Mercenary forces, as I understand it, tend to be very like low discipline, not as in shape, often not as well equipped. But these people are brave enough to go up against whatever's on a naval battleship. So either they are something of a military force themselves, or they have technology advanced enough to close the gap, or both.
Yeah, I think that's all reasonable. I mean, I will say that navies, actual naval personnel, they're not necessarily the best at like person-to-person combat.
I just been through this.
They're there to operate the part of the ship that they operate and fire things at other ships, which is why naval vessels have Marines. It's up to the Marines to defend the ship if they get boarded, but they're going to be in relatively low numbers.
Yeah, and I mean it didn't seem to do much good there anyway.
No.
Actually, it seemed like it wasn't.
I mean, the ship was crippled and they got boarded at that point. So long as they've got enough. Yeah.
So,
and we've all played Sid Meier's Pirates, so we know how to. You not played Sid Meier's Pirates?
No.
I've not played any Sid Meier games.
You just board the ship. You play a mini game, whether you use your sword high, low, or medium, and then you take over the ship and take their stuff.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what's the deal? Like if you go low and they go low, nil score draw.
You can't actually remember. Yeah.
Is it like rock paper scissors but with sword?
I was honestly more interested in the courtship dancing mini game where you do like 18th century like dancing.
Oh right, yeah, like where it goes.
Yeah.
So some asides. So there's some cool gravity stuff with Holden and Naomi, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He uses Naomi's momentum to pull himself back towards the deck so he can magnetize himself, and then the sort of elasticity of that means that he can pull her back along. Once he's secured and he can hold on and he's magnetized, he can then pull her back in.
They actually, the very first time I watched that episode, they got me with that. I was like, why is he kicking Naomi away?
Yeah.
That's not very wholesome.
No, you see him hooking her on.
Yeah.
To be honest,
whatever law.
I knew they were going to get away because, like, it's not the end of the. If it was episode 10, I'd be a bit more. But I was still pretty tense. I was still pretty gripped. You know, it's.
Yeah.
Well, we just lost one of the five final survivors, so. You know, it was always possible we'd lose another one, and Amos gets shot in the leg.
Yeah. So for all we know, actually, Shed could have had a heart of gold. You was talking about him having a heart of silver, but we don't know, do we? I'm assuming his story ends at that point, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
We're going to say Shed is dead and he doesn't really come up anymore apart from the odd bit of conversation in the near future because there's obviously, oh shit, we lost Shed, you know.
In season 12, they find his head floating in space. What have you been guys doing? I've been so bored.
Yeah, it's... But at least it was quick, right? Like, I mean...
Oh yeah, so instantaneous.
Yeah, I mean, if out of any way to go... You know, like it's and they did that really, really well. And also the blood going out of the hole.
Yeah. Well, they do a bit of like magician. What's the word for make your focus go over here?
Misdirection.
Yeah, they do a bit of misdirection where he's passing him you're focused on his hand. He's like, oh, he's got to throw these in 0G. This is going to look cool when he's just about to throw them, and then boom.
Yeah. So they make it out, and then of course Alex is a little bit of a I don't know if it's necessarily a callback, but it's like, you know, when Shed was in the night and was Alex
yep
running out of oxygen.
Oh yeah. Buddy breathes with him, yeah.
Buddy breathes. But then, like, was it Holden who was like, "You're a medic, act like it." Or was it Naomi? I was like,
Holden,
"You're a medic, Holden."
No,
okay, yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
One of those two for sure.
One of them says it over the radio to him.
Yeah, and it's sort of Holden. If it's Holden, then because he basically does the same thing. Says the same thing with Alex, which is like,
"You're a pilot, fly."
Yeah,
because he's still woozy with the
he throws him up to the pilot seat.
Yeah, he's like, go and fly the ship. You're the only one that can.
I'm kind of curious. The thing that go like the chair when the things go into his back. Is that like a whole bunch of injections that just go into his back?
Yeah. I think that is the most, in terms of like the sci-fi, the science, whatever. That's the most hand-wavy thing in the show. Is that juice that 0G protection juice?
Well, it's not 0G. It's
G-force. High.
It's protecting them against high gravity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they would black out otherwise, and if he's got to fly a ship faster than certain speeds, if he's got to
I think there's a bit of like stimulant in there, and there's a bit of, I think it's a bit of like it does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's a sort of cocktail of drugs.
But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that being hand waved away because you can't, you
at least they address it. At least they address it.
Yeah, they address it. I mean, I don't know enough about biology to know if it's a realistic, but I mean, it's believable, that's for sure. And also, like,
it works in the show.
Yeah.
If you live in a universe with things like perception drugs, then presumably you're really going to want something like that if you're piloting spaceships, right?
I mean, they already, like, I think they give amphetamines to fighter pilots and stuff. I think that's fairly standard. Race drivers, I think. I don't know if they're upfront about it, but like, anything where you just need to be. Because I always think, slight aside, imagine you're an F1 driver, right? And you just get like your balls start itching really bad, or you need what happens when you sneeze? Do they take a sneeze? Like if you, because I've been playing a racing game where I'm not going to pause. I'm just going to go through the sneeze. I sneeze and I'm just in a tree.
I reckon on that, but this is with zero research. Is they learn how to suppress sneezes. And they probably
I don't think you can. You can. Point, but there's certain sneezes that will just like, and your eyes are closed for going that speed. Your eyes are closed for enough time to
I mean, there's probably techniques or something.
Also,
or
imagine if you got a really itchy nose.
Well, now I've always had this theory about F1 drivers, again with zero research, just like yet from the sidelines, where there is something like different about them in terms of they don't flinch, right?
Yeah,
like I'm a flincher, right? Like
might be the same for fighter pilots. You're able to suppress those. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'd imagine because in some of the books I've read, like the fighter pilot thing, you start off with a whole like shitload of people, and you whittle, like only like 0.1% of people are even like biologically capable of
astronauts similar, right?
Same deal. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of professions out there that just being short-sighted has sort of barred me from. It's of course
when
being
you said short-sighted, I thought you just meant like intellectually, like you never think ahead.
No, I mean, I'm presuming that's the skill as well they need. But like, like my problem. Yeah, you need basically to be. I think it's pretty much like any kind of professional pilot for them for whoever, like military or whatever, to invest in you. You basically need to be. You need to have zero red flags in terms of health, because if you'd start losing your eyesight and they can't fix it, that's millions upon millions of.
Although I know we're on a bit of a tangent here, but I'm enjoying it. You ever seen on YouTube those videos? There's one in particular. It was linked there's that science woman who I linked you on YouTube, and she mentions it, and I watched the video. And there's this like 17-year-old girl who's in a light aircraft. She's learning how to fly in a light aircraft, and the undercarriage won't come down. And she's never landed before, like it's her first time kind of thing, and the tower will just so calmly talk her through it and just get her through it to do a soft crash landing kind of thing, and just like the competence that these people have, just the ability is like beyond my comprehension.
I'm told, again, I don't know if this is like an urban rumor or something, that when you're in air traffic control, you do shifts in half-hour amounts.
Because you've got to be on it.
You got to be on it. So, and I don't know, like, it'd be interesting if can you inject yourself with adrenaline? I saw it in a Jason Statham movie. But it's a Jason Statham movie.
Well, that's talking about documentary, isn't it?
Crunch or
Crank.
Yeah, great film.
I watched it when I was very young.
Adrenaline injections are in a lot of films. Yeah.
So
in one of the Starship Troopers 2, I think there's a scene where somebody's...
We do use adrenaline for anaphylactic shock.
For people and bad drug reactions and stuff like that. And then what do you call it? Pulp Fiction.
Yes. Not how you do it.
But so I would imagine that people like maybe F1 drivers, I was going to say pilots there, because they're kind of basically pilots, isn't it? Yeah. And perhaps people in the military and other sort of like, might very well like train under adrenaline. Like, so I don't know if that involves and then like just learning how to communicate whilst your heart's beating really fast, whilst you're sweating and profusely, and you're just still there going, yes, and then you do this, and then you do this. And it's just like, because you can't do that. Either you have to be like innate, it has to, or you have to train at it, right?
There's a lot of repetition with these things. It's like you see, that's why they have checklists as well. You see the pilots on a reasonably realistic sort of thing. They'll have a checklist where they check everything in the plane, and that sort of mechanical checking thing has like everything on a lot of military and aircraft and things like that have like and you'll see it if you ever watch the films of the Apollo missions. There'll be checklists. So that no matter what's happening, you do not skip a step or miss something. You follow a checklist. So there is, and then all the other stuff you have to just get so that you react. You react the way you're trained to react. So I suspect there's a lot of repetition in that the fast thinking stuff is probably repetition.
A few years ago, NASA put up all the recordings of the communication between Apollo 11 and the ground crew, like for the entire mission. Like it's a few days long, obviously. and I listened to the whole over a course of a week. Like I listened to the whole thing, and it's like 99% just like we've got a warning on this thing. Can you check this light? Can you flip this switch? Yeah, it's just a lot of that.
Yeah, of course they had to do that to pretend they weren't in the studio for all that time. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. They do say it was Stanley Kubrick that directed the moon landings. But, of course, it being Kubrick, he insisted on filming on location.
That's good.
So they do make it, and he gets because I mean, if he's a bit sleepy, then whatever's going into his back is gonna, because I mean that cocktail also probably it's not inconceivable that injured pilots would still need to fly. So it's probably like painkillers and all kinds of mad junk in there. Because you just presumably need the reflexes and the memory. So yeah, and they
like I say, it's got to be a cocktail of some sort. It can't just be one thing.
Speaking of G-forces and all that, we see the Slingshot Club. That's the funny little little bit. So that's the Miller bit. Yeah.
Oh, that busy Batico means live forever as well.
Oh, does it really?
All right. So should we jump to the Miller stuff?
Well, I was going to say one more thing about another little language thing is Toshi, the name of the ship, is Japanese. It means us.
It's all. I always just assumed that was a Star Wars, like got to go to
Toshi Station. No, I don't think so. Might be. Well, I mean, but Toshi, T-O-C-H-I in Japanese is us.
There's a bit. Okay, I got to mention this. There's a bit when Miller's going into the Slingshot Club, and there's a young lady, like smoking like a space bong or whatever. And
it's quite funny, the little exchange.
And he goes, you Penza, and she's like, you Penza, like flirtatiously, and he's like, you Penza, you Penza. And funny in itself, but it just also reminded me of my ex when she lived in London. A very attractive woman, and she would go down to the market.
What should do with you then?
Be like, I always bat out of my league. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, she'd be in the market, and there'd be like an Arabic speaking like market stall dude, and like she'd go up to him, and he'd go Assalamu alaikum.
How you doing?
I was on the phone to her at the time, and I just pissed myself. I was like, Assalamu alaikum. Loved it. And that you Pens. They had that kind of how you doing kind of feel to it.
Is it does it mean are you police or something?
You think like Ponce French.
Okay.
Yeah.
You Pens.
All right.
You think?
Yeah.
You think. You think.
And then you learn about the way the fake ID thing works on the dudes in the morgue, and I love that. I love that idea for how a fake ID works. So, like every time you scan it, it just picks somebody who lives in the place that you are, who could be plausibly mistaken for you at a glance, and says you're them, and that's genius.
Yeah, and expensive, as we find out as well.
Yeah,
which does sound kind of expensive. It's like being a VPN, but for people, and also smarter.
Well, so I mean, they're basically sort of Deus Exy type implant type things, aren't they?
Yeah, which I suppose makes a lot of sense. They have implants for like lots of different things from the sounds.
Yeah, it had quite a few cool implants. That guy, pity he was dead, and they couldn't really.
Yeah, you could have a bit of a salvage. I don't know if you can just like pop out and pop in. That probably isn't very hygienic, is it?
Yeah, I suspect they've got some sort of necessary surgical expertise involved. You
know, they need installing.
Yeah. So he has a memory thing, which is like I'm not entirely. So it'd be interesting to find out why he has that.
Well, it's a data store. It's like a USB stick you plug into. So he's got. So the implant is like a USB port with a stick in it. So it's. And
remember, this is the person that Julie Mao made contact with.
Yeah, don't forget that part. Yeah. So she did. Yeah, she didn't make contact with the busy Basico, but obviously Miller's led to believe that, especially with the connection with the Slingshot Club and all, and the fast ships.
Another bit I love, that whole Slingshot Club is it's a funny bit where, just when the dude's like, there's no gambling, it's just for fun, and Miller's like, I don't care about that, and he's like, okay, do you want to make a bet?
Good odds.
Lovely little moments in that bit.
The one thing I will say that was I found a little bit immersion breaking about that scene is that when he was on the telly, was it Busy Tico or whatever his name? Busy Tico. I felt like he was being a little bit of an exposition potato. Like it was like, because so Miller walks in halfway through or in the middle of the guy doing what is presumably a gravity slingshot in a unpowered shuttle of some kind or something, right?
Yeah, so along those lines,
something along those lines, right? Like so, and he's like, yeah, it's like. And then it's like he sort of like as Miller walks in, he just casually happens to be explaining exactly what he's doing and how far he's come, and
that's probably just like, I suspect if you're doing those things, you recap quite a lot because people aren't going to pay attention.
That didn't read as exposition-y to me.
I just assumed that was his. Now I'm at this point, and this is what I'm doing now. I didn't.
Not into that subculture.
Okay,
Like if we went on some random Twitch stream where they're doing like surfing in CS, and I'd be like, what is this? And I would need it explaining to me,
I don't know. Like it felt, I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And then everyone's. I was wondering actually, right? If like, of course, so Busy Toe dies on screen, like on Twitch, right? Live on Twitch.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably Kick or whatever it is now. But yeah, and so I was kind of thinking, just as an aside, he could underwrite like a whole bunch of bets. So if he dies, so if he dies, the money is spent paying out bets. But if he survives, then he cashes in and then makes a shit ton of money.
I think that's the plan.
Horse racing.
Well, I was going to say it's like you got prize fighters and stuff as well. So two-sided version of that, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just betting on himself as effectively, and I mean, it's, if you're confident.
But yeah, we don't get a ton of Miller in this episode. That's pretty much it. He learns about the data crypt. He learns about this dude's spoofing ID thing. We don't get a ton of Avasarala, just her on the roof saying she's afraid of people throwing rocks. So I mean, it's mostly the rest of the crew, the post
former Kant crew,
and that the beautiful bit at the end where they get their ship. They're on their ship and they fly out, and it's like, oh, this is the show kind of beginning in a way.
Yeah, that's they've got a ship now. Because the Knight was obviously not going to survive much longer anyway. It's falling apart. So this is them now got the Toshi as their own ship, because the Martian tells the computer to give everybody on the ship at that moment access to everything. Which is quite a clever way of doing it. It's like, what if we have to hack? Because if you think of, it's interesting if you think about it. I wonder if, because I know that, we spoke about this before, that the writers have a lot of deep nerdery about other sci-fi stuff. And I wonder if they know if their Blake 7 had ever come across their path. Because in Blake 7, they find the Liberator, and they basically have to hack their way around it, because the ship's computer helps them a little bit, but it's very reluctant. So they have to learn how all the manual systems work. But obviously they get around that in this way, just him saying, computer, everybody on the ship right now has access to stuff, has access to the ship. Thank you.
I mean, but Blake 7 was a little bit before my time. But
you still watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think my dad was really into it when he was very, very young. And so, sorry.
You're not that much younger than me. My God.
I remember catching it as a kid, and I think I was a little bit too young. Like, I watched episodes, but a little bit too young.
Yeah, I think I'm the oldest of the three of us. So I watched it. It was there was a few. Not to get too much sidetracked, but it was a big thing at the time when it came out, because it was another new sci-fi, and it was from Terry Nation, the guy who invented the Daleks. So couple of points for it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was a 42-minute episode with a fair amount of action in it. So, but the action was done really well.
Not a ton happens. Like, you don't get a ton of new information. You're just seeing this battle play out for the most part, and then them getting their ship. And I was going to say, like, pretty much everything up to the end of episode 4, where they get their ship, is kind of prologue.
Yeah,
like, that is really a 4-episode prologue, and then things.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier on. I think last week or last episode, I said, all of this is kind of one big episode leading up to the sort of episode 3 and 4 is like a bubble on the end of what's coming. It's like the head of the comet that started at episode 1.
And I think I've said every episode so far, so I might as well say again. Yeah, episode 4. That episode 4 is where it hooked me. I'm glad you sort of felt the same way. And then there's a bigger hook coming. So like it gets
there's more coming. Yeah, but that's the other thing about this show is that it just. Yeah, we're seeing all these connections between them remotely. So the scopuli is a connection and all that, and then obviously there's more connections to be made. And it all you already noticed, you already realised this, that they're obviously going to come together in some way. Story-wise.
Thank you, Hamish. Like, this show kept surprising me.
Yeah.
Like, when you get into the stuff that's just ahead, with particular asteroids and stuff.
Yes.
I did not see that. Did not see it going there. Did not see that coming. And it's like, oh, this is more.
Yeah, and I mean, it's every I think I'd said already. Every series has its own sort of story.
Yeah.
In part of the bigger arc, but not in the way, not in a throwaway way. Like a lot of since the 90s, a lot of shows had that sort of season-long story arc thing. But But this is like all part of a building story. Carry on, sorry, mate.
No. I was just going to say something it does that I think is very different from other shows that I've watched with the non-episodic shows. It often season 1 is the exception, but I think the other seasons, at least like 2 and 3, right in the middle they have what would usually be the season finale. There's sort of two main plots, and like they have a huge event right in the middle. And then a huge event right at the end. It's kind of like two.
Yeah, as if it was a longer series. Like in Star Trek, they would stop in the middle of is it 26 episodes?
I was just alluding to, which is a huge thing.
Yeah,
that happens right in the middle of season 2, I think.
And it doesn't even. It doesn't even completely pay off, and it doesn't even completely pay off until much later as well. But it's always there, and it's part of the story now. So it's not just that's it. That's the key, isn't it? They don't just say, "Here's this new thing," and then start using it. Like Doctor Who, when they introduced the idea of the Doctor putting his personality into a watch. And of course, within a couple of episodes, we find somebody else with a watch. It's like, I know it's meant to be a kids show, but kids aren't that stupid. You could have that last over to the next series or something. But the point is that it's that kind of thing where they don't just introduce something and then shove it down your throat. They introduce lots of little things in an organic, not necessarily subtle. Some of it's not subtle. Some of it's quite in your face. But it's all bits and pieces of a.
The stuff we're talking about that comes up, it sort of pays off in season 2 in a way, and then it doesn't come back. Well, it sort of really culminates in like season 4, and that leads to another thing that
crazy.
It's like sine waves that are like intersecting with each other.
Sorry, just one more thing. I hate to do this one to Chris, but I'm going to have to sort of go to that thing and this thing a wee bit to Drew as well. But Drew, and Chris probably notices, but Naomi seems to be thinking about something other than just the crew that she's got. And that doesn't really, that takes a long time to be revealed in the story.
Well, when they think they're going to die, she says to
didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
I didn't say goodbye,
yeah. And they now, they do have a hand-holding moment. However, that could be anything.
I see how awkward Amos is thinking, should I hold a hand? Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this is the human thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that they are not romantically involved.
Not that we've seen so far.
Not that we've seen. Like, obviously, there's the question: why is Amos so peculiarly sort of
loyal?
Attached to Naomi? Loyal, yeah.
Well, he does say thanks for all the things you've helped me with,
So there's a history there that is mysterious, but I think that it being romantic is like it seems like a very obvious bait and switch. Like it's like you're supposed to assume that because, well, first of all, we haven't seen much in the way of any kind of romance.
And you've got a man and a woman that have got a history, so yeah.
So you sort of and also like Holden even maybe suggests it, does he, in episode?
Well, he kind of asks, and Amos doesn't really answer. I mean, there's clear. I think it's nice. I think it is one. It's one of those relationships that's probably not easy to categorize. Like, I'm sure there's to some extent a romantic component to it. Sexual, we don't know, but like there's clearly like there's an intimacy.
Yeah, well, like but that could be anything. That could be
even if it's not sexual and not really romantic. There's intimacy there.
Yeah, even if it's sort of brother sister.
Yeah,
brother sister.
Yeah. It could be. But there's like it's a special closeness of some variety.
Yeah.
But we know now by this episode, we know that the one thing we know about Amos is he's from Earth. That's just about the only real history we've got. He mentions it. Remember, they say it's he's an Earther. When they're talking about when they're talking about the sedative.
Yeah.
So they confirm that one thing about Amos. He is from Earth.
Yeah. One thing I've got up at the moment is a still of one of the mystery mesh soldiers, close up, and it seems very, very plain. Like the armor seems very. Like there's no like obvious military insignia on it that I can see. Yeah. There's something around the mouth, but that looks like it's probably a breathing apparatus rather than military insignia.
I think you're right. I think there's quite intentionally no. I don't
think there'll be any sort of markings or identification. Those guys.
In fact, to be honest, ominously missing, like they're deliberately trying to hide who they are. I'm probably reading far too much into this, but it kind of looks a little like they're wearing something underneath, like a military uniform or something. But it might just be the shape of the outfit. Like who knows? Yeah. So that mesh does look really cool. And he says, the blue is the blue relevant? Like,
well, I think it's more of an identifier for the audience as to who's who once they're all.
Yeah,
I will say, you can take this however you want to take it. Like, whenever Martians, they have like a red glow.
Mm-hmm.
Earth people, their color's blue. Like Mars is red, Earth is blue.
Yeah. Okay. So they're obviously not Earth, or unless they're like a corporation on Earth, but it would seem to me more likely that they're trying to mimic Earth. If anything. But we know that there's deception at play because it doesn't. Here's the thing, right? Like we don't know.
It's worth mentioning. This isn't a clue or a hint or anything. But remember, we're not just talking about Earth when we talk about the UN.
Oh, and Moon. Oh, is there Moon people in
Luna? There's a whole thing in the Luna. And in fact, it's mentioned. I'm sure it's mentioned in this one.
They mentioned it, but
Don't forget that the UN covers Earth and Luna,
and
but they're not. They're all part of the one. Governmentally, that's all one thing. Though. Did
they They presumably didn't terraform the Moon.
No. It's
which is interesting because is there a reason they didn't terraform? Is there a reason they went for Mars?
It's got no atmosphere. You need an atmosphere really to. It doesn't have enough gravity to keep an atmosphere. Like Mars, you can do it on Mars. It's got lower gravity than Earth, but there is an atmosphere, so you've got the potential there at least to, it's got enough gravity.
All right. It's not, but can't you just pipe a load of atmosphere into it?
It would just float off.
It'll just float away.
Yeah.
Back to this gravity not being just up and down thing. It's like it's towards the center of mass.
The Moon doesn't have. You're basically saying the Moon just doesn't have the mass for the gravity.
The Moon's not massive enough now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I've never tried to terraform the Moon, so I'm a bit,
There's a lot of like you need like the fact that we have a spinning iron core.
Yeah.
That creates a magnetic field. Without that, we'd be dead from solar.
Yeah, there's so many little bits and pieces that keep us alive. It's quite.
You can't just take any body and
You can't just you can't just like, okay, we move the air.
I mean, that doesn't apply to the moon
move
because
the water.
the moon's protected by our magnetosphere. But like, broadly speaking, you can't. Yeah, there's stuff you need.
I mean, I'm assuming there's radiation you got to deal with, and
it's also like
on the moon,
Mars has hydrocarbons. Mars has stuff that you can turn into fuel, whereas Moon has like helium. Is it helium or hydrogen? It's got a bit of helium, hydrogen. It's got a bit of water, but there's not a ton of stuff.
So that's oxygen and hydrogen and oxygen, obviously, because that's water.
Yeah. There's not a ton.
There's not a lot. It's a dead rock, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas Mars has got. Not necessarily life as such, but it's got
cheese is on the moon.
Mineral processes and organic processes happening.
Yeah, and I suppose rather than terraform the moon, you're better off just making a really big space station and then sending it up.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe we'll see one of them. We don't see a lot of outside of Earth, really. We see a little bit of it when there's I'm not going to go on about it, but you get in that if you watch episode 4 again, you'll see a few just little glimpses of what's going on around Earth, but not a lot. It's nothing. There's no big spoilers or anything. It's just you get more of a feeling for Earth and the moon being part of one thing,
Yeah, the Mormon ship, I would assume, is probably something that we might see as a big ship, like that's like.
It's a big ship they're building,
Yeah, so if they're going to go to another, I'm assuming it's a solar system, not a galaxy, because a galaxy would be kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, it would take a long time to go to another galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, they try it in Mass Effect Andromeda, but that's like they cryogenically freeze them, ship them off. 50,000 million years later, but the Mormons are a religious eccentrics, right? So they might very well. I'm assuming that this voyage to the next solar system is still going to take. I mean, I don't know how fast they travel. The ships travel. Is it light speed? Have they cracked like something close to light speed?
No, because that's not possible.
Or close, like how close? How close to light speed are we talking?
I mean, a ship like. So they're talking about it's a 100-year journey. Yeah. If it can accelerate for that entire 100 years, it's going to get pretty fast. But obviously, they've got to decelerate for the second half of that journey. So 100 years to Alpha Centauri or whatever, that's pretty quick. It's not light speed, but not even close to light speed. But
hang on a minute, 100 years.
Vega's 4 light years away.
That's like half light speed, isn't it?
Well, Vega's,
no.
Vega's 4 light years away, for example.
Did they mention Alpha Centauri? Did they mention where they're going?
I don't think so, did they?
Let me Google it.
Don't make me think about physics at this time of night, though.
Is not too much. Going half the speed of light possible? Probably.
Well, in theory, theoretically, you could get to 0.9999% the speed of light. It's the breakdown of physics at that point that's you can accelerate. You can sort of go beyond the speed of light, but when you do, physics changes, it breaks up. So that's why we're currently capable of like accelerating things to almost the speed of light, but it's like single atomic particles in a particle accelerator, space. We get very close to the speed of light, and
as long as you keep accelerating, it will eventually.
It'll get get fast enough.
Physics breaks down,
and then you have to calculate the point at which you have to reverse and decelerate. You've got to have enough fuel, and you've got to know about the gravitational forces, and I mean that's quite difficult. I mean, if you've ever heard of I don't know if I mentioned it before, but a 3-body problem, it's quite easy to work out gravitational and orbital mechanics for 2 objects. But once you introduce a third object or more, it becomes a really, really difficult thing, even for computers and stuff. Anyway, I'm getting too many. I'm getting a half awake physics stuff getting mixed up in my head here.
So according to the internet, the Mormon ship is going to Tau Ceti.
Oh, right.
And Tau Ceti is 11.9 light years away. So if it's taking 100 years, then they're going an average of about 1/10 the speed of light, right?
Yeah.
Okay. which is still
really they mean 100 years from the reference frame of being on the ship.
Yes, you've got to. Yeah, this is another thing. You've got to think about relativistic things happening. But I mean, if you're only a tenth of the speed of light, I'm not sure there's that much of it.
No.
I mean, it's obviously going to be more noticeable than what we have between like here and the orbit of the Earth or whatever. But it's still, given that they live and work in space all the time, I think there's a small amount of relativistic compensation goes on with human life, if that makes sense.
I mean, the thing that I struggle with the believability, but the thing that they would have to work out for me to think, for it to work in my headcanon, is like, if you're going at, say, the 10th the speed of light, and you hit like even the smallest bit of space debris, like that's obviously going to cause like a huge explosion.
Yeah, can do. Yeah, because it's a larger it's a large amount of force in a small. The kinetic energy of one small thing at that speed. You know, you're the problem. You're the bullet.
That was. I think that's a proposed or investigated weapon system. Is just launching things from orbit. Basically, you make a telegraph pole out of like titanium or something, and then launch it at the Earth at relativistic speeds. And when it hits, it's like many times bigger than the biggest nuclear weapon kind of thing. Which is what you talk about. Yeah, just a little pebble. And if you're going, that's.
I mean, but presumably
the chances of that are quite slim. You know.
Well, I mean, if you're in
it's like just like the dust that you're space dust.
With one speck of dust, and whereas for the bulk of the journey there probably is literally nothing. Like either side, maybe there is some.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've sent things through the asteroid belt without any,
but not that fast, right?
Not that fast. That's true. But then again, there's not anything hit them either. So you've got to remember space. The further away you get from like the center of the solar system, the more spread out things become. And by the time you reach the asteroid belt, they're really spread out.
Do they try and get to the center of do they ever try and get to the center of the universe where the big, we
can't.
We can't.
Sorry, does who try to get to the center of the universe? Sorry, you've confused me.
Anyone in the Expanse? So you're
talking about the Expanse again, right? Sorry, I forgot we were talking about that TV show.
Because the universe, like nothing can travel faster than the speed of light or the speed of causality or whatever. But the universe is expanding, and bits of the universe are moving away from us because of the expansion. It's like a bit of a cheat. They're moving away from us at faster than the speed of light. So there's bits of the universe that we cannot see and will never see because it's traveling away
beyond
from us.
A certain point, and
But it's not moving away from us. It's that space is growing.
Time is expanding.
So if something goes that direction at let's just say 60% of the speed of light, and something goes in the opposite direction of 60% the speed of light, the difference is more than the speed of light, right?
No. Because
it doesn't work that way. I can see where you're going. This is why people get. I remember arguing with my ex-wife, in fact, about speeds being, because I think it was a game. I think I was playing a space game, and we were talking about speeds and velocities and stuff. And I said, well, of course, that's relative to the nearest.
Basically,
mass.
Time will rearrange it. This is a dumb way of putting it. Like time will rearrange itself such that those things are not going faster than the speed of light.
The time and space are all part of the same thing. So if you stretch one thing, you're sort of compressing another sort of thing. It's sort of like that.
The way I get my head around it with space and time and the speed of light or speed of causality is we are falling through time. If you're stationary, if you're perfectly stationary, you are falling through time at the speed of light. And the faster you go through space, because it's a vector, basically, the combined speed of those two can't be faster than the speed of light. So the faster you're going through space, the slower you're going through time.
Yep, that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Okay. Does this have anything?
Just think of us as falling through time at the speed of light if you're stationary.
Okay. Is this anything related to the Heisenberg? Is it principle or theorem? Or
Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Uncertainty. Yeah.
No,
That's about
quantum physics. That's about subatomic stuff.
You
can't observe something and
know how fast it's going.
I mean, this is the sort of crisis. I mean, some
measuring something
to this, but the crisis in physics is that gravity, as described by Einstein in general relativity, and quantum mechanics don't quite fit together. So that's the problem at the moment in physics, is those two things don't quite mesh.
But the Heisenberg is that like a subatomic particle? You can know is it where it is and how fast it's going, but you can't know both. Is that what
you can't have all the information.
Yeah. And then of course there's the observation effect. But anyway, that's
and then I wasn't planning for all this to happen in my brain tonight.
No, I mean I'm kind of tired, so my brain it's just like
But we're not dealing with any of that in the Expanse. It's well sublight.
Yeah, there's no hyperspace or light speed or warp drives or anything like that. Yeah, your hair's getting wild.
No, right.
Chris, yeah.
Wild.
Okay, so everything's subspeed of light. The Mormons are on their.
Yeah, we're trying to remember why we even got into this. Yeah, the Mormons. So we're talking about the Mormon ship. What is it you wanted to know about the Mormon ship now?
Oh, really? I think it was just like.
Is it going to feature again? Kind of thing.
Yeah, like I want to see it finish, but there's a part of me that's thinking, are they actually going to finish it? That's a maybe, isn't it?
Well, I think it's close to completion already, isn't it? Just when we see it. The thing is that we get in a few short scenes, we get to know quite a lot about Fred Johnson and his relationship with everybody. And the last thing Fred Johnson does in this episode is give the Mormon representative guy an excuse for having to remove everybody from the ship so that he can use their massive communications array to spy on whatever's happening at the Donager.
Yeah. I love the line, get all the Mormons off the ship, or whatever. I can't remember his exact wording, but it's just like, get all the Mormons off the ship.
And so he obviously knows something because he wants to look at the Donager.
Well,
he wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, he's since Holden's message got out. Fred's been paying attention to that region of space.
So I see in my head, I clocked it as he knows the the Donager and is like, hang on a minute. It's like,
he's got Holden's message. That's what he's reacting
to. That's what he's reacting to. Oh, okay.
And to be fair, one of the reasons the Navoo might have very good long range sensors is for looking for little pebbles that they might run into.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's well done, Chris. Well done.
Tied it all together.
I mean, you've got to plot a route, right? Do you? Or do you just swing it in a direction vaguely? And
physical things still exist in space, so there might be a lot of gaps, but physical things still exist. That's your point. That's your points of reference, or else, because this is the thing. That's why I got into this argument about speed and velocity being relative, because you can either be going at a fraction of light speed, or at a speed relative to an object.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about because if you're walking along the street, you're going a lot faster than you're actually walking, because the Earth is spinning and moving through space, and also, there's loads of different vectors involved, and it's a bit like that with you when you're talking about it's like space travel, everything's relative to other things. I think there's a point where in the moon missions thing where they talk about calculating things. I mean, if they've done all the calculations beforehand, but the fine calculations, they start doing it based on the moon's effects, because they're closer to the moon by then, obviously, and stuff like that.
So what's our time, and like, so our time is relative to our speed going in the direction away from the Big Bang?
No. Basically, because of relativity, any description of our speed is relative to some fixed point. Yes. So before you can start talking about our speed or our motion, you've got to pick a fixed point.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like relativity and stuff.
And it's a 4-dimensional point.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put 5 fingers up there, but it's a 4-dimensional point. I think I'm in the Simpsons.
The cool thing about relativity is because it fucks with time, like you can move in such a way. So if something happened in the past and something's going to happen in the future, you can, if you move in the right direction at the right speed, those two things happen simultaneously. So long as they're not causally related, you can rearrange time by traveling in certain directions.
And the difference between, or the reason for time moving in one direction as far as we perceive it, the arrow of time as it's called, is because of entropy and the odds of things happening. The odds of the odds of a pile of sand being in a certain layout, the more entropy you give it, the more I always get that mixed up. The less entropy, the more. Well, anyway, whatever the more difficult end of it is less likely to happen. So you can build a sandcastle, but over time, the wind and the water and everything's going to move those sand grains around, and there's nothing stopping them from theoretically building a sandcastle exactly like you had. That's not impossible in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing in physics that stops that from being possible because we're part of the physics. Yeah. But the odds of it are so great, and that's why things seem to crumble rather than magically build. That's why time goes one way and not the other way to our perception.
Although I always imagined that
you got me thinking too much now. I had to get that right.
Like memory, I suppose this is related to entropy, but it's like. It's memory. Like for all we know, we could actually be moving backwards in time. It's just because we have memories, we think we're moving forward.
Well, that's perception rather than
perception.
You're choosing a direction. I mean, that time we're just calling one direction forward and one direction back. There's no. But that's what I'm saying. We're actually it's entropy that determines the direction that we perceive.
Like a photon, because it's traveling, as far as we know, at the speed of causality, at the speed of light, doesn't perceive time. It just is. It's in all of the places it ever will be at the same time, kind of thing. To the point of
a photon, all photons, any photon,
or any photon, Well, any photon that's fast,
but what, because apparently, but when you say causality, you mean through a vacuum, right?
No, causality is built into the fabric of space.
In E equals mc squared. The C is actually causality. We think light.
No, the C is the speed of light squared.
No. C is the speed of causality, and we think that photons are the carrier of causality. So we think that photons travel at that speed. They probably do, but they might not. And if they don't, then they have mass, and that gets interesting. But
Now, when you say photons have no mass, is that an absolute zero mass, or is that an estimate?
Zero.
Photons.
Photons, Because is it electrons that have such a little mass that it's effectively zero? Am I thinking?
No, neutrons. No. You're thinking of.
I think electrons are.
Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to listen, and I'm also losing.
If there's a physicist watching this, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're probably screaming at everything we say. But
But please leave a comment if you want. I'm keen to learn.
But don't go too high level. We are lay people.
Yes.
If this is
technically I'm not, but that's not the point. It's okay. I'm sorry. Technically, I've studied some of this, but
I'm just a feeble BA, so don't worry about me.
I'm trying to think.
I dropped out of an art degree, so.
Neutrinos. That's the one I think you're thinking of.
Neutrinos. Okay.
Practically massless,
but not actually massless, just practically massless. But photons are actually
photons are massless particles.
Yeah. Okay. Unless we're wrong, of course.
But there's an invariant. I'm not even going to get into it. There's more to it. Every time you start clicking something in physics, you've got to remember that words have a very specific meaning. And then you've got to remember what does that phrase mean, right? Okay, it means specifically this, specifically.
But with
like when people talk about mass and weight in general terms.
I think this is accurate to say because photons are the carrier of energy, and energy is what causes things to happen. So photons are the carrier of causality. So, and it's causality that can't go faster than c, because if it does, everything fucking because then the relativity thing, you could make two events, one that causes the other. You could switch their order, and then times arrow doesn't work anymore.
Can I possibly? Because I've got to go soon. So can I pause to go to the loo, and you know.
Well, I mean, should we wrap it up there?
We can chat with this. I might have to go back and edit this to a certain point actually, because we kind of really stopped talking about.
I think that's fine.
I think we've covered everything, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we have. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then we're probably going to chat all bloody night now.
All right, toodaloo.
Toodaloo, and see you next time for episode 5.